Alright then. I am testing a Hear You with Tier 6 torpedo bombers against a Frederick de Gross with evasive maneuvers enabled.
Wait, why wouldn't you do something with less AA?
The more potent the AA, the more pronounced the effects are.
And the more obvious the results.
Well, if you do it with the low AA threshold, like I don't know, trying to think of what has like 100.
So let's say that the Hear You does have 1000 HP per torpedo bomber, in which case you also have and it increases by 75%. So you're by 1000 HP, you'll have 1750 HP on your torpedo bombers of evasive maneuver. And let's say the base AA does 100 damage per second, which means every second my torpedo bombers without evasive maneuvers have a 10% chance of being shot down. With evasive maneuvers, they have what would that be? 100 divided by 1000. So basically nearly half of that. So 0.75%? No, not 0.7. No, 2. Hold on.
It's like 5/8.
5/8.
I think.
5/8. In which case,
I don't know. I'm not gonna do the math.
Yeah, I'm not gonna do the math in my head either. 5.7%. So it basically roughly halves the chances. So if if you take a look, my dive bombers, if I send one of them back to my carrier, and I send one of them to actually just retreat back to my carrier using evasive maneuvers affects even fully loaded dive bombers. I don't know why the wiki says it doesn't. Speed change is noticeable.
Because the wiki also says you run
the
torpedo acceleration on your Henry.
The wiki says a lot of stupid things like that. Like Victor said, when we were looking at the recommended captain builds for ships, it recommends torpedo acceleration on the Henry. When no, you don't use torpedo acceleration on the Henry.
Like, yeah.
Alright, I gotta fix that then.
They also put IFHE on a Henry, but it doesn't do anything.
It doesn't do anything. Don't you base penetrate the Grusa Curver's deck, Big Chong?
You're like actually, missing it by a couple of...
By 10.
You don't.
Yeah, by 10.
Yeah.
You're missing it by 10.
But the thing is like the curvers, like whatever you're shooting at, your guns are so accurate that you're just gonna hit the superstructure. If you can't aim, then I guess you run it, but it's not useful at all. Not really. Then you can pin like a kebab, I guess, but like even then, your HE's gonna wreck his mods and his guns without it, so you don't really need it. So yeah.
Okay, so with 8 torpedo bombers attacking not aggressive curvers, but effective to gross, without activating evasive maneuvers on my torpedo bombers, I lose 2 of my torpedo bombers to effective to gross. Let's see what happens if I activate evasive maneuver.
As long as you just hit F, it should slow down your speed dramatically.
Which should buff your planes automatically, which is why I don't know why people say that. I'm not even emptying my torpedo bombers, that's the thing. Because you said that it has no effect on loaded bombers, I'm not even going to empty any of my bombers whatsoever. So let's see what happens when I do initiate evasive maneuvers with my torpedo bombers, after I pretend to do a strike on it.
Hi, Halcyon.
Hello.
So yeah, whoever writes the wiki, my compliments to you for recommending torpedo acceleration on the Henry.
I should go check that out.
Torpedo acceleration and TAE. TAE I guess is like
torpedo armament expertise for what? The minus 10% reload time on a 2-minute reload on torpedoes that you barely ever use?
What? No, you use the torpedoes more than that. And it's not 2 minutes, it's 1 minute and 30 seconds.
Oh, 1 minute and 30 seconds. My apology.
I mean, I just wouldn't use it because...
It's trash. It's
I
trash,
mean,
Big Top, it's trash. Don't
it
mince
is-
words. It's trash. It's a trash skill
I
to take on
mean,
the Henry. You're not a big deal.
I run the Henry, and I think I do pretty well in it. Pretty well. And it never even crossed my mind.
Okay, initiating
that's
second test.
Cool. I can like assign the crew through this. This is neat. That's pretty neat. But I gotta put my AA Henry. Oh yeah, I have AA. I could just... It's free.
Initiating second test. You lose roughly half of your bomber contingent. So yeah, even with loaded bombers, evasive maneuvers does have an effect.
Okay, I'm gonna change that then.
Yeah, these bombers I didn't even empty, and they still lost half of what they lost to the Frederick de Groot. So yeah.
I guess I'll try the meme of the IFHE Henry. I don't think it's really gonna do anything.
It's going to affect your fire chance, Victor.
Yeah.
By -3, but I mean
Yes.
that it's not like it matters.
Yes, it does, Victor. It always matters. Every single percentage point matters.
You would think so, but in the grand scheme of things, does it really matter?
What's it's like if
I mean,
if it's 3%, right, and your stock is like, if your stock fire chance with flags and stuff is 24%, like 3% of that is a 12.5% decrease net overall of fire chance.
yeah, but you're still gonna set a fire on your first salvo.
Yeah, that's true.
I
Right.
love that.
It's just about. It's not even like about the fire chance. It's just about getting them to use a damage con and then putting them back on fire. You don't need to set 8 fires on one person. Like the YouTube video I have where I set 4 fires on an Izumo. Like, sure, that was nice, but I was gonna kill him anyway. I didn't need to set the 9 or 8 fires on him in like less than 2 minutes. That felt dirty.
Did it now?
Like on a scale to 1 to like you
Necessary.
playing Langley.
Wow, Victor.
It felt
Yeah.
like you playing Langley.
What
Like,
the fuck? You always have to say that, don't you?
yeah, I do.
Actually, I'm kind of curious what the extra rearm time for bombers with evasive maneuvers is. I suspect it's... Let's see. I think I can just basically do the calculations based on the fact that bombers begin the rearm process half a grid squares around 1.8 kilometers away from your carrier, and then travels at 1.8 kilometers in that span of time.
So all you did was just make them fly at the same speed, tell them both to go back to the carrier, but send only one to use a waypoint to go back to the carrier. The other is still on auto, go back to the carrier, right?
What do you mean?
Like you click on your for one of the bombers, you click next to your carrier. The other, you hit F.
Oh no, that's not how I'm testing it. So since we know the base value of the speed debuff when these fighters are under this particular kind of effect, because we know that, what I can basically do is just measure the distance that a bomber can travel, 1 grid square, measure the time associated with that, and that is basically what I consider full speed of the bomber itself, and then you can multiply it times 0.7 for the 30% decrease in speed, and then you'll get the approximate speed for it to travel to your carrier, and it's something pretty negligible, something like an extra. And this is us under the assumption that your carrier is stationary, by the way. It's negligible because it decreases the rearming time by 3 seconds at most. But when your carrier is traveling forward at maximum speed, it could potentially increase your rearming time by something like 7-10 seconds, which is pretty negligible for a carrier. So yeah, I think I'm done actually testing now.